Good morning, happy Saturday. Welcome to Talk O'Clock. I checked my watch. It's Talk O'Clock. So it's actually Friday morning that I'm filming this, of course, because, well, I need some time to edit, but I just got up, so you got the morning feeling nonetheless. What I have been doing this week, I said it last week that I would do it, and I'm going to talk about it and other things, of course, is the 7 days offline booklet that was in the last Flow magazine. So last week I told you what I wanted to do, what I wanted to use this booklet for, since I'm working from home and that is mainly online. Working hours, of course, I cannot be offline, but I wanted just to check my behavior. And if you want to know details, hop on over to the last vlog, and there I tell you why I'm doing stuff like this. So I have to say, resume time. A summary of this experiment is that I have to tap myself on the shoulder because, damn, I know myself very well, very, very well when it comes to my behavior, my little weird things that I do, things that I'm interested in, things that I don't care, stuff like that. Behavior on how I spend my time online, offline, I was spot on, and I didn't even try to look on that prediction throughout the week. So I said that I have certain days, certain times where I'm more on the iPad screen checking in my private time if, well, something's going on the social medias because I'm waiting for things, or I'm having for example, Sunday game day, I'm posting photos on Instagram of what we play, so stuff like that. But I'm quickly gonna go through the 7 days with you. So you can, before I start talking now, you can guess how often I've been on the screen each day in total. So I think, do I have changes? Day 1 and 2. Day 4, 5, 6. So anything but day 3 and day 7 are the same. The others, so day 3 and 7 are not the same as the others, but type it quickly. I'm gonna tell you 2 times, twice a day. I'm checking my iPad for social media, so Twitter, Instagram, email, YouTube, podcasts, if they come in. If I don't get the notification right away, I'm checking actively twice a day. So this is pretty much what I thought I would. On Sunday, of course, I checked it more because I was Instagramming what we played. That was 4 times. And on day 7, that was yesterday, 3 times. So yeah, let me give you some something. So in the booklet, they also ask questions. Things like, what did you do? In regards to, instead of looking at your phone, and I was a bit snarky in my answers. It's like, yeah, well, I edited videos for 30 minutes on Friday last week, and then answered mails and social media stuff for 1.5 hours because Friday is my social media day. And I'm just going through the things that I did not reply to during the week. And 8 hours I spent on archiving my family letters and doing genealogical research, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute here. But there's other questions like let's see, where was it? Like, you know, this is so typical me. Day 3 questions are, how did you feel to be unavailable while offline? I was like, I don't care. So, yeah. It's not because I'm arrogant or snarky or I think I'm a better human than others. No, not at all. But I know myself, and being so spot on with how often I would use my iPad for checking social media stuff or looking what's going on in the world. Like, yeah, no surprise there, which then made me a bit snarky when I responded to the comments, just because, like, yeah. So, in summary, I know myself. In summary, I don't spend a whole lot of hours on the web for just checking. I spend tons and tons of hours on the web for work. Yes, but not for pleasure, which is it's just very fitting, and it's logical almost, because the way I spend my leisure time is I'm coloring, I'm drawing, I'm painting, I'm board gaming. So these are all things that are offline. So yeah, I like that. Let me give you some stats, and then I tell you, or while I tell you what I did this week, other than the offline booklet. Need a sip of coffee though. So I said I did research, family research. So Friday, Friday is not only my social media day. I'm a creature of schedules and reoccurring events. There are certain days that are set aside for certain things. So I seem to be a creature of reoccurring events. I seem to work very well with that. Maybe you are too. So Friday is, for one, the editing, talk o'clock, getting that video done day. Second, it's the social media day, meaning I'm cleaning out my inbox, replying to all the things that I couldn't reply during the week. I'm replying to the YouTube comments and Facebook comments and stuff like that I couldn't get to during the week. If I can get to it, I'm getting to it, but if not, well, Friday is the day. I'm setting aside time for that. And Friday is the day where I work on my family letters that I'm archiving. Maybe some other time throughout the week as well, if I like, but at least Friday. So last Friday, I've been archiving, I think 2 or 3 letters. And then I saw, well, with the letters that I inherited, I got photos as well. Photos that I have seen when I was a kid, so they were not totally brand new to me, but I'm just flipping through them every so often when I print the letters before I put them into the bags for each original letter, the printed out letter, and archiving online, or not online, but on a external drive and stuff. So yeah, anyway, I've been rummaging through the photos, and let me get this close to you. This is the photo where I was like, Okay, yeah, I remember seeing that as a kid. What I did not remember was that there are notes on the back written very faintly with graphite pencil. And I thought, oh, this is not readable for long anymore. So I have to get working on that one fairly quickly and take a look. What is it? What does it? Blah. What's the story here? I have other photos where there's notes like that on the back, but written with an ink pen or a biro or whatever. So this one here says that this is the cemetery where either the brother or the father of my grandfather are buried from the First World War in France. And it says that this was sent to my grandparents, so to my grandfather and my grandmother, by request. So they requested it somewhere, and it was from a request from Altenburg, which is the town that my grandfather is born in, or was born in. So that's all the information that I got, and I thought, what is it? First, because it says brother or father, they did bear the same name. So I say, well, who is it then? Let's see if I can find out. 8 hours later, and me looking on records on the internet and learning things and going there with a huge magnifying glass with my hubby, trying to find out what it says exactly on the cross, what data is there other than the name. Also finding them by finding the people next to him, stuff like that. So I found him. He was the brother of my grandfather, and he was a soldier in World War One and did, well, didn't make it out of a battle in France, and that is the cemetery that he's buried at, and that he's still at today. Found him, found the information, found with what regiment he was there, and the old enrollment lists, stuff like that, found that. So if anybody from your family passed away or died on the fields in World War One, it's very likely that you can find them. These were those records were meticulous. So if you want to find somebody in your family and you know that they fought in World War One, let me know. I'm gonna help you find the sites where you can find them and find where they were buried if you don't know, or what regiment they were in, or what platoon, So found him, which I found so much more information than was on this photo written in the back, and I could make out that, it was the brother, it wasn't the father. I haven't found the father yet, but that doesn't mean anything. I just, I'm not having any other information on the great-grandfather, on that great-grandfather yet, so I have to dig through the letters some more and the photos some more to find things that I could then use to search if I find people. So that took me about 8 hours to find it, but it was very satisfying. It was very satisfying in the sense I remembered that I was told stories about that brother of my grandfather, and that I could use information that I was told as a very little kid by my grandma, that I could trying to remember then and putting them into the puzzle with the information that I got there written down or as a photo buried somewhere in letters, and then finding the people without having to go through the big institutes of researching your ancestry, but doing that on a Friday night with the open sites that you don't have to pay for on the internet. Like that. That was time well spent. And one thing down, one other thing is done. So I'm getting there. Probably is going to take at least 1.5 more years just to get, at least 1 year to get through the letters, and then go to the photos and look and find and see. But yeah, it's a big project, but it's worth it. I seem to be, I talked to my mom, and I seem to be the last person who has, well, not only the letters, but the stories that I was told by my grandma. I got lots and lots of knowledge about people that, well, they are not written down, but I was told stories about them. So another one of that, and that I actually found him within 10 minutes. This was the fastest ever, but my search is not finished yet because, well, now it's getting real difficult, and it was super late Friday night, so I'm going to put it aside for now and maybe find him later or find confirmation later. So my grandma always used to call me by the pet name that her brother, he was 9 years older than her, also had. Why, you might ask? Well, because I seem to have looked exactly like him when I was a kid. So I know that I looked exactly like my father on like baby photos when you put mine and his next to each other from the same age. It's very difficult to tell us apart. And it supposedly was the same way with my grandmother's brother. I don't know. I never saw a photo of him yet. I haven't found him. But I knew his name, of course, because, well, it was my pet name. And I knew that he died in battle in World War II. So I thought once I had World War One uncle, what is he? Oh, I have to make a family tree now. It's like to set them all apart and have them named and relations to me. So, hold on. Bear with me, folks. I need one more coffee. So, once I had found the one in France from World War One, I thought, well, maybe because I was impressed with how great documentation was of how people moved through Europe that were in the army in World War One, I assumed, well, maybe World War Two as well. I mean, it's long enough now that records could be available. It's well, it's even better and sometimes not so great for World War II. So I had way more small, tiny bits of information with World War One that I couldn't find with World War II yet, such as the regiment that the brother of my grandma was with, or where he got deployed, from where. I know where he was born, and I found out the birthday and the day he died and where, and what kind of soldier he was, like what title he had. Is it degree? I don't know. But I couldn't find what platoon, what battalion, what regiment, blah, 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 all of those information. Couldn't find it. But I found out where he passed away and what cemetery I'll have to look for, what region in Russia. So yeah, I'm going to look through Russian web pages now and see if I can find him. The information that I got is that he's still buried at his original grave, but it's not a military cemetery, so they couldn't get me all the information like right away, so I have to dig. But I'm gonna do that once I'm done with the letters. I'm gonna put this onto, have to do that later, list. I just was impressed that I found him with a name. He was the only one with that name. It was very helpful. That I found him amongst all of the millions of people that died in World War II. So, yeah, that was quite successful on Friday, but then again, also very emotional, of course, and yeah, straining on my brain and just going back and forth and doing research pretty much. It's like a big, huge jigsaw puzzle that I did there, and yeah, well, that's. But I'm curious now, even more. I did speed read through all the letters when I got them, but I didn't read in depth. So I wonder if there's information in those letters, especially the ones from France. So aunt and uncle of my grandma, if there's information buried in those letters that might be useful or helpful to, for one, complete the family tree, those information, and second, to, well, find out maybe a bit more about these two that are on the, this is, by the way I store them, that information for when I work at it. It's paper bags that are actually lunch bags, but they're, yeah, they're useful. So I'm wondering if there's letters in there or information in those letters. So I'm always looking forward to Friday now, at least Friday, to, well, read in depth through those letters, cross-referencing things I know, noting things that I try not to forget or to remember. Well, there's something in that letter that is in regards to, and to help later on with the full family tree and with the full informations of stuff, and yeah. And it also helps again with my language, language learning, language remembering. So those letters are mainly in German, but there's also Polish, French, and I have to dig now through Russian web pages, and there's what else was there? Was another like, oh, it's a dialect from Czech Republic. I forgot what it was called, but so I'm relearning or remembering languages or dialects that I knew, and now I just have to, well, remember the words and learn them again, use them again to, well, dig through all of those letters over there in that big box that I can look at. Anyway, I did more than just researching, but that was a big thing Friday night. One thing that I did even longer than researching for my ancestors is coloring, and I filmed it, so while I talk to you here, you can see it. I've been coloring the heck out of Enchanted Forest. That was the coloring book of the week by Johanna Basford. And next week, teaser, it's gonna be Mouse Guard that I'm working with, because I try to change things from week to week with materials. So in Johanna Basford's Enchanted Forest, I was working with polychromos and pastel chalk, and now in the Mouse Guard, I'm working with Inktense and the very cheap colored pencils on top. So I try to switch things up once in a while. But that was a lot of fun. 9.5 hours is a very solid time of leisure time, or waiting for things to upload. That's actually when I color, when I wait for things to render or upload or process. So yeah, that was 9.5 hours. And I've been recording. Well, I had that much time to color because I was recording 4 episodes of Beyond the Lines on Monday. And I had to edit all of those and render all of those and upload and process. So that's why there's 9.5 hours. So another thing that I also did, well, I finally managed to paint the canvas that I wanted to do. I showed you the one with butterflies, so here's that. That was super quick. It was like 20 minutes, 10 minutes. But it's in my other part of the studio. I could see it from right here. It's in the front part of my studio, and it looks pretty cool. I've also been able to finish the translation for the knitting pattern for my mom. So I gave that to her on Wednesday, and now she can knit the hell out of the new blanket. Getting that took me another 3.5 hours, so that's probably in total, I'd say 15 hours translation time. You can kind of imagine how big that pattern is, or that's just lots and lots of patterns that will make a whole big blanket, like in a block style, putting those together. So my mom now has to knit a lot, but she's got the German translation there. So that was another check done on the list that I had for a week or two that I said I wanted to work at. So that in that regard, this week was super successful. I did also some more punching of the green cardstock that's to come soon-ish onto Art Day. So I'm maybe halfway through punching all of those circles for my soon-to-be assembled plant, and yeah, that pretty much is what I filled my week with. So you see, most of those things are offline, or they're not on social media. Researching in old military lists is not social media, that's research. So, and it wasn't on my iPad, it was on the computer while waiting for other things to upload. Duty. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. I'm a bit scatterbrained, I'm sorry for that, but I need some more coffee, and then I'm going to archive more letters. Today is a bit of a quiet day. I'm definitely going to do the social media checking things and archiving letters today, maybe tonight after dinner, way later. I'm going to color a bit in the mouse guard, but you will see all of that compiled in the next vlog. For this vlog, there's one more thing that is very important, and that is a teaser. As every week, I'm teasing what's to come this weekend on Gamers Couch, and we decided on Oceanos. So yeah, we're gonna film that tomorrow, which is cool. Very cool. And it's a lovely game, and I'm probably gonna fangirl again, because, well, it's by my favorite designer. So yeah. No, I'm tired. I did half an hour of talking. It's like, oh. I'm not used to talking that much. Anyway, did I forget something? I tried to... Oh, I have to sneeze. Shit. Whatever. Woohoo. I tried to remember everything. I think I did. Well, if not, then I won't remember that I forgot, which is not a bad. Whatever. Right? Don't go in circles, Sarah. So that was my week. I hope you enjoyed watching along. Maybe you are researching for an ancestor as well. So again, if you need to find, or if you need to know the lists or the websites I searched at for the First and Second World War, let me know. I can share that information and maybe save you some searching time. And yeah, I wonder if you expected that I would be spot on with my online-offline behavior. So let me know in the comment section below. I will be back next Saturday. That's the day, Saturday. Hopefully a bit more awake and not as scatterbrained. But well, what can I do? So yeah, whatever. I'm gonna be back on Monday with a new art day. It's going to be the second part of the calendar flower drawing things. This stuff. Oh, I'm so sorry. Ah. Jesus Christ. And yeah, I'm going to see you. Have fun. Take good care. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy. Goodbye.